Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Marcia. Happy Monday. Hi, Beth. Beth, how are you? How are you doing? I was trying to ask you how you were doing the other day, but I think something was going crazy with the sound for you. Hi, Lorelai. Hi, Kelly. Leona. Hi, Sue. Hi, Karen. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Miss Linda. Thank you all for sharing. Hi, Lynn. My hair's still wet from the shower. Sorry. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, Choi Choi. Everybody saying hi. Yeah, tired, Beth. Yeah. Hi, Sheila. Nice to have you here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Miss Linda. So, last week, Choi Choi, Miss Linda says hi. Last week, as you guys know, Betty won again on Friday. And so Betty messaged me and said that she's already won. And so she wanted me to pick another winner. So on, hi, Miss Edie. So on Friday, we will pick two winners. So we will pick a winner for this week for everybody who does the sharing and all the good stuff, and then anybody's name who was on the wheel last week will just be transferred over as well, and then we will we'll pick two winners. Yeah, it was really sweet of her. I told her she didn't have to do that, but she said no, that she wants to give somebody else a chance, and that she wants somebody else to win. So we will have two winners on this Friday. Yeah, so I don't know that she's in here today, but and speaking of Betty, it reminds me, tomorrow I will be live again on my regular time, and I'll be streaming on my channel and Facebook, but also on Walls and More, which is Rima's channel. So a bunch of us are helping keeping Rima's channel going. So if you can go over there and even maybe, heart some of her videos or pictures, whatever her post she has up, just to kind of keep her going and her page active while she's gone, because you all know she went to Lebanon. So if you can show her page some love. But I will be back again tomorrow at 1:00. So, just to kind of help her out a little bit. So, what do we got going today? So this week we were actually supposed to start some of the 101s. Thank you all. Thank you guys for sprinkling. But we also had that tray that we were doing. So I thought what we would do is do a little bit more of the tray. I couldn't find the button. Thank you, Beth. We could do a little bit more of the tray, but then we could go on and do some of the other stuff, like looking at some of the crackles and whatnot. So if you remember on the tray, I did the blending just on the blues, and I can actually go like this and turn it. So my issue and why I was getting really stuck was because right here, there was like a definite line here and a definite line here. Hi, Miriam. And it was really making me crazy to have those two definite lines, and I couldn't focus on anything else other than those two breaks. So when we got off, I went ahead and I blended those out because I couldn't take it. It was really driving me nuts. So we can do a little bit more of her the blending and stuff, and then I think what I'll do is, as we're chatting and doing that, I'm going to jump over and start doing some of the other things that we were going to talk about with the 101. Because there's only so much tapping and blending that, you know, that we can take. It gets a little monotonous after a minute, at least I think. It's like, okay, let's move on. So yeah, her face, I really, really love this one. And I did put the name and everything. I did put the paper number, the name, everything is in my description for this one. So if you have any questions on which one it was, I did put it down there because I ripped it off so fast the other day that I didn't even remember. I think I'm going to take this down. I like being able to rotate it, but it's a little high. So, how was everyone's weekend? I know in the UK you guys have a holiday too, a bank holiday. And then we also have Memorial Day today, so it's a holiday for us as well. Hi, Ari. So, are most of you off work? Those of you who have to go in and are not remote? Did you do anything this weekend? Did you go out to do any barbecuing or go to the river or the beach or anything? Hi, Gwen. Hi, Anya. How are you, my beautiful friend? I haven't seen you in a while. So I'm just putting some colors down because you see we have her fiery red hair. And then we'll mix where we need to mix. You heard him. Lynn says hi, Troy. She heard you talking. All right, so today I am just using some Stamperia Allegro colors, just because it's easier for me to kind of open the top and squeeze out what I need rather than fussing with unscrewing the jars and having all the jars open and, you know, doing all of that stuff. So let me get some of these daubers so I can blend when I need to. My water bottle and a paintbrush would probably help. Had a barbecue yesterday at the park with my family and friends. Oh, how fun! Miss Beth says hello, Mr. Toy Boy. He's peeking around the box light trying to see. I'll have to get on my camera again and get him on here again. All right. Do I have anything? Yeah, I do. Let's tie his hair back a little bit. So we didn't do anything this weekend. The weather here yesterday was really kind of weird. It was warm, but the sun was not out. It was kind of like overcast and then windy, very windy. So I don't know what's happening. So I'm gonna kind of come in with some reds here. So let's get to her. I'm actually thinking I don't have to mix too much. I might be able to just play a little bit. But here in our town, what they do is they put flags up and down, you know, the American flags up and down, like the main streets. So we have, when you go out, there's, you know, all the American flags that are up and the poles and stuff, which is really neat. So Troy, don't do that, please. But I know like Trev is getting, I think I told you guys he went to Target to get like a bunch of floaties and stuff so that they can go out to the river. Terry just wanted to share, ordered the bloom yesterday for my daughter. It came today. Can you believe? Mine's supposed to come today too, Lynn. Yeah. Mine's supposed to come today too. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to actually see it. And also, Lynn, I shall be able to mail out your the apron for you too as well this week. Let's get some more. I'm just kind of putting in color. I know it looks kind of crazy right now, but I'm putting in color and then I will blend it out with the water and whatnot. So yeah, you'll have to, when you get it though, you'll have to take some pictures for me so I can see her when she puts it on. You ordered one too, Sue? I'm telling you, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, so on Creative Hour on Saturday, Chris Hunter was on and she was doing some journaling, junk journaling, and she pulls out, it literally looked like a flower. It was, I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but what kind of flower it actually is, and she turned it and it bloomed. Like all of the rice petals came out, and I think everybody was like, what in the world is that? Where did you get it? And we all needed one. So obviously a bunch of us ordered because Sue got hers. Mine's supposed to come today. And yeah, it's the coolest thing that for storage of like beads or just any of like the little trinkets and stuff. So I'm excited to put all of my charms and stuff in there because I have them right now in 3 separate places. Had this huge search for new LaBlanche steampunk molds, found them, not allowed to order them because I do not have a German phone number. So unfair. That is not right. That is not right. Troy, turn it down. I hear my voice and it's yucky. So now I'm just going to... Troy! I'm going to just take a dauber and just kind of blend in those colors. I know it was looking a little crazy, but I'm going to wet this over here before it gets too dry. Anya, Leanne isn't going to get any of them? Oh, did you put the did you put the bloom in there, Sue? Is that what that is? I'm telling you, this thing is, and it looks, I haven't gotten mine yet, so Lynn and Sue tell me it looks like it's pretty roomy. Like it has, because the bloom, so the petals at the top were smaller, and then as it got bigger, there was more space. So in the bottom blooms, but oh my goodness. I just wanted to hurry up and order mine because I know, like, Amazon does that thing, right? When they see people are, have interest, then all of a sudden, the prices go up and then it gets a little crazy. I've added it to our Christmas craft list. Oh, yes. This one is too wet. I didn't spray it that much. All right, let's blend some of this out before it sticks too much. But yeah, I was looking at my my orders today, and it showed that it was coming today, and I was like, oh wow, that was fast. That's pretty good. Hold on, Troy, let me see. Put some orange in here. It has 10 petals and one at the top. So that top comes off, right, Sue? I think that's what I seen her pull. I was just so amazed when it started opening. I was like, whoa, what is happening? I'm not sure why you showing me your hand, bud. What happened? Did you pinch your finger? Come show me. Did you pinch your fingers? What happened? Were you trying to put that thing in there, and I bet you pinched your fingers, huh? Sue, are you working on anything? Do you have any miniatures going right now? I didn't talk to her. I chatted with Chris a little bit this morning, and she was putting in an order for some more stuff, some journaling stuff. I actually don't want to pull her forehead all the way up there like that. Sue's miniatures are awesome. Try create and craft. Oh, yeah, Sue's miniatures are really awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen some of her miniatures, but check them out, because I just still, every time I look at them, I'm like, how in the world do you even get your fingers to work like that? Because I cannot hold it. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't hold it in my hands. What are you doing, son? I'm not sure what... Oh, you want something. Paper towel? There you go. There. Now wipe it, Lynn. I know when I was talking to Chris, Sue, she was going to definitely be going onto your page to look at the miniatures. Hi, Colleen. How are you? Oh, see, and that's another thing too. With onyx, I can only imagine dropping. it's bad enough I can't hold things, and then to drop little things on the floor now would be, oh Lord, it would be a disaster. She gets into everything. She literally is, I mean, it's so bad. I know you said you use a magnifier, but I had one and I still, because remember, Nikki's trying to get me to do, because Nikki can do that too. And I can't, I don't know, Nikki and Olga are trying to get me to record miniatures with them. And I just, it's not possible. I don't think it's going to be possible. I keep telling him to post pictures, but he doesn't think anyone would be interested. No! Oh my gosh, is it really, Colleen? I know Sue was saying too, but oh Lord. Yeah, like today the sun is out and it's fine. But like I said yesterday, I don't know what was happening yesterday. Yesterday it was just, it was crazy with the overcast and so if you guys want to start putting into the comments now, because remember I said we're going to switch gears here and start doing some of the 101. Do you want to start with the crackles? Do you want me to start showing you the crackle systems that we have? Would you like to start off with that? Or is there anything that you guys have been on the fence with maybe wanting to try and want to start with something there? Because I was looking here on my desk, Crackle. Colleen, don't send it Sue's way. Crackle? Okay. Because what I'll do is I will finish blending this out, and then I'll come back when I have her all blended, and then I will do the finishings with you as far as like putting in more flowers, putting in more butterflies, and putting the epoxy resin down. And then we also have to address the beautiful embellishments on the outside and what to do with that. So I was like, yeah, you know, like this is all fun and good and stuff, but really this stuff I can do off camera. See, and then the paper right here, so that needs to be blended. That's why it's picking up dark right there. So, but I thought I'd get on first and then ask you what we should look at first. So crackle paste, the ones you showed the other day. Crackle, crackle, crackle. Everybody's interested in crackle, huh? All right. So what I did was, and like I said, I will finish blending this and then we'll come back and I will do the butterflies, the flowers, and then the outside with you. So what I did was I pulled out a bunch of these are just wooden pieces, okay? Now, do you want to see just the way the crackle works, or do you want to see like crackle over, you know, decoupage, or crackle over paint, or just all of the above? Are we looking to do a little bit of everything? Hey, Robin. Okay, so basically I will pull out, we have the cracking paint systems, okay? So the cracking paint systems are two-step. I don't even know if you've seen these, but the cracking paint systems have colors. So it's good if you know, are maybe doing furniture, already know what you're looking for as far as the color. So we have the cracking paint systems. That is a two-step system. Most every crackle, all of the above, okay, most every crackle is going to be a two-step, okay? The only one that is a one-step, one component is this one, called the crackle medium, all right? This is the only one step there is, all right? So we have the crackle medium, which is a one step, all right? This has crack painting system. Crack painting system has colors. There's also a crackling paste that comes in black and white. Okay, but this is a two-step. The only one step is the one component crackle medium, all right? Then we have the classic crackle. We have the fine line crackle. We have the transparent crackle. And we have the random crackle. I'm probably missing a crackle somewhere. Okay, the first component, the cracking component 1, is interchangeable throughout all of these, okay? So I can use this same one for these, except for this one. Remember, this is just the one step, okay? Right? One component, even says on there, one component, okay? These other ones say component 1, component 2, okay? 1, 2, okay? So make sure that anytime you're going to use a crackle, unless using this one, you have that first step. The first step is interchangeable for all of these. So you can do like a cracking paste primer. Or what I mean by that is I can use component 1 classic with 2 fine line or 2 random, because the 1 is interchangeable throughout. Yes. Okay. This is why crackle can be confusing. Too many crackles. Okay. So let's start with an easy one first, which is the crackle medium, the 1 component. All right. God bless you, son. So the crackle medium 1 component, what you want to think about is like sandwiching a color. So you want to have a base color, okay? That base color is what you want to show through the cracks. So you're going to put down a base color. I don't know. Let's do the Decor Paint Chalky Royal Blue. And let's paint over it the Dove Gray. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is put down our first. Remember, this is what's going to show through the cracks. Have I not opened this one yet? Or is it just, oh, I did. Okay. So this is what we want to show through the cracks. So let's put down our first layer. Typically, you don't have to do it this way, but typically you want you want to think about maybe putting your darker color down first, because that's what's going to come through the cracks. Again, personal preference, you do you. You could put whatever colors you want together. Okay, so this is our base color. Let's dry that really quickly. Hi, Philomena. Do any of you use crackles? Have you tried to use crackles and aren't successful with them? Do you not use them because you haven't been successful with them? Because I love incorporating crackle into my projects. I kind of almost have to tell myself to stop it because I feel like maybe I do it too often. I have been afraid to try them. Really, it took me a while to finally get it. Okay. All right, so we have our base layer down, okay? Now, with any time you are doing crackles, you always want to use a clean, dry brush. Don't just go washing your brush and think, oh, this brush is really clean and it's just a little damp. Don't do that. It has to be completely dry, okay? I would like to use crackle on rice paper. Okay, I found it hit and miss with various brands. Whenever I use 1-2-step crackle, I can never get it to crack. I always need to use a heat gun. Okay, I can get the 1-step to work, but have trouble with the fine line to work. Okay, and see, and fine line is my very favorite. All right, so now this is what we're going to do. Again, clean, dry brush. We're getting the 1-step. And we're going to put down a layer. Now, the more product you have down, the bigger your cracks. Okay? So, again, that's personal preference. You can play with it and see what you like. If you like, it to have the big, deep cracks or what. All crackle is recommended to let it dry. Hi, Jessie. Hi, Helen. All crackle is recommended to let it dry naturally. Okay? So basically what that means is if you're doing a step 1 or a component 1, it's saying put it aside and let it dry. Then you would put down your step 2, put it aside and let it dry. Thank you, Jessie. But because I'm doing a live, I almost always accelerate my crackles by using a heat gun. If you use a heat gun, you always want to keep it moving. You do not want it concentrated on one area. You can burn the product and then it won't work. You can make the product bubble and then it won't work. So you need to make sure if you're going to accelerate it that you keep your heat gun moving. Okay? So what I will do is with this one, we will, because it's this just the one component, with this one, I will go ahead and accelerate it, but then when we go on to the others, we'll decoupage and we'll do some other stuff that you can put the crackle onto. And we'll leave those set a little bit. Obviously, again, the more product you have on there, the thicker your cracks, the longer it's going to take to dry. Okay? So, again, it's better if you leave it set, but if you need to accelerate it, you can. Just don't let that heat set in one concentrated area. Tell your husband I am anxious to see some pictures, Marcia. Tell Andrew to post, Marcia. Okay, you know that your crackle is dry when it's gone clear, transparent, all right? You want to make sure, though, again, before you put on what ours would be the second layer of paint or the second step, you want to make sure you're always doing it on a dry, when it's completely dry. Don't do it when it's tacky and it's not ready, because then it's not going to crack. And those are all little things, but it's all things that are going to frustrate you, and then you're not going to want to try or play with crackle. And I'm telling you, once you get crackle down, you'll love it. I have a friend her name is Olga. You guys probably know her. She was convinced that she couldn't use crackle. Convinced that fine line doesn't work. Nothing she did worked. So she says, I'm going to watch your video, but it's not going to work. I said, I'm telling you, if you just do what I'm telling you in the video, it'll work. Which, by the way, I do have tutorials on every one of these that I'm going to show you today. I have in-depth tutorials on my YouTube channel. Okay? So anyways, she tries it finally after doing what I said to do in the videos, and it cracked. And she could not believe it. She was so happy, and now uses crackle. But yeah, she was convinced. She's like, nope, it doesn't work. I don't like it. I don't care what you say. It doesn't work. Okay, so now when you're doing the one component crackle, when you're coming back over it with that top layer, you need to make sure that you load your brush and kind of try to do it so that you don't not going back over an area, because as you can see, it's cracking already. So if I were to go, oh, but I want more paint here, and I start putting paint, the cracks are going to disappear. You're going to fill the cracks in. Okay? So let me zoom you guys in. You see that happening already? And then we'll put a little heat on it. So as you can tell, that color from the bottom is coming through. All right? So this is the one component crackle medium. So basically you make a sandwich, right? You do a paint, crackle medium, and paint. And then it does its thing. Okay? So this is the crackle medium. Of course. I know, isn't it so cool when you see the cracks happening? It's like, oh, so cool. Okay, so this is that one. All right, so now let's move on to, let's do This one is the cracking paste. Now, as the name suggests, the paste, this one is a little bit thicker. So I always put in like a little cellophane, or the Dollar Tree makes these. You can get they don't make them. They sell the little, like, you know, I think they're Tupperware. You put them over your Tupperware. They make sizes that are the small ones that will actually fit well. So this one, same thing. Remember, we only have one that is a one component. That's the one we just did. So we need something to make this crack. Okay? So we could do the same thing, and we could put a paint on here, but just for time purposes, we will just go ahead and put down, this is the cracking paste primer. This would be considered the one step, the first step. Again, a clean, dry brush. Okay? You love using that one. You love using, oh, you both do. Is that you love using the one step? Yeah, the one step is, you know, easy, fun. You know, you get the effect that you need, and you know, it's so, I love watching it. I love watching the cracks happen. It just, that's the best part. Okay, so you guys probably can't see much of what's happening right now, but I am just putting down a layer of, so that's just a layer, okay, of the primer. So that's this one. Again, it would be better to let it dry naturally. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But because we're doing this live, does one step need to be sealed? After this, I would seal it after you're done with your project and everything else. Yeah, you can seal it, yes. It's better that you do seal your crackles. Yeah. Yeah, the one step. Yeah. The one step, most everyone will use the one step, because that's about as much as, of course, Linda, that's about as much of the crackle that they want to dip into. They're like, yeah, no, that's good enough for me. They're like, that other stuff doesn't work. But it does. It does. You just, you know, if the funny thing is there's just a couple of things that will make it not work. The crackle primer and paste, does it need to be sealed with a solvent varnish? The solvent varnish, you only need to seal with a solvent varnish on the fine line crackle. That is the only one that it's an absolute must to do a fine solvent base. The other ones you can seal with the solvent base if that's what you prefer, but a water base is fine. But the fine line crackle does not play nice with water. You cannot use any type of water-based product on the fine line crackle, which we will do today as well. So that one you need to work with the solvent base. Does the one step work on images? It would, Marcia, but the thing is you're needing to create a sandwich, right? So if you put an image down, right? So if you put an image down and you put that one step down, you're needing to put acrylic on top of that first component. So then you're going to paint over you'll paint over that image. Does that make sense? So that's typically why you use the one step in sandwich and make a sandwich out of the acrylics. You know, I have all three crackle steps: classic, random, and fine line. So all three will require solvent varnish? No, only fine line requires solvent. Only the fine line requires solvent. The other ones you can use water-based. So, all right, so this one is almost all the way dry, and then we will do this one, and then the next ones we'll have some fun with. Because I think the other ones are the ones that everybody wants to try, but they're just not sure. Remember, this is the one, the crackle, the transparent. This is the one that I put the pigment in. So we'll do that as well, because you guys seen how beautiful that jewelry box turned out by putting the pigment powder in that. So, all right, so we have down the cracking paste primer, which is the first step. Once again, I'm going to be washing brushes, a lot of brushes today. Once again, we're going to use, so you can use this with the brush if you want to, or you can use it with the palette knife. I'm going to grab a palette knife just because you'll notice, look how thick that is. Like, it's not going to fall off. So, I'm not going to dig my brush in there and try to figure that out. So, all right, so we're just going to go on here and we're going to put this paste on there. Because it's thicker, it's going to take a little bit to dry. This is why I'm telling you, you need to put some type of cellophane down or something, because it's already a thicker product. So if you let too much air hit it, it's really going to make it thick. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there, the cracks are already happening. All right, so let's just throw that in there. Put my little in, because of the edge. You can get my little mushroom. All right. Now, again, we would want this to dry naturally, if at all possible. So you can tell the cracks are happening already, and those are in the thinner spots. Where it's thicker is where the cracks are not appearing just yet. They're appearing on the surface, but not so much on where you can see the actual wood down below just yet. Isn't it cool to see? So, there you go. That is the cracking paste. And this comes in black and white. It's a little redundant to do a white because it's the same thing. You would do cracking paste primer and then the white and then same thing. Yeah, it is so cool to see, right? Okay, so this is the cracking paste. All right. And so just for comparison as we go, so this was, let me bring you back in. So these are the cracks on the crackle medium. These are the cracks on the paste. Okay. All right. Now, let's take, this is gonna, all the dry pieces. Now let's get into the fine line, the random, and the classic. So I'm just going to pull out some of my scraps that I have handy in my little rice paper scraps down here. I don't want them all to be the same. Let's see. You guys can probably tell what I was working on. All right. That's a big piece, isn't it? All right. We'll figure it out. Okay. So, really quickly, I'm not going to paint a white base. These are light enough. We should be just fine. We're going to go ahead and get our decoupage varnish. You like the black one? So that one, like I said, it does come in black and white. So now what we're going to touch on is the random, the classic, and the fine line. Okay, so while I am decoupaging, I will tell you what I was talking to Miriam about. She was asking about sealing the crackles after you're done, you know, with putting your, I guess, your project together or whatnot. The fine line crackle, which is this one here, is the only one that is, you can only use solvent-based varnishes with it. If you try to use any water product whatsoever on it, it'll stick to your project, even if your hands are wet and you touch it. Without it have already being sealed, you'll notice that your hands are sticking to it. It's very important that you do not use any water-based products on there. Like, you wouldn't want to use any of the antiquing gels or anything like that, you know, on top of that crackle. Okay, so let's just get these down really quickly, and then we'll sand it off and do the crackles. If you do not seal your project, if you don't seal the crackle, you will notice that over time, the project it'll start to, you know, the crackle will start to flake, especially if you like have it in like a window, a sunlight or something like that. It'll break it down, and it won't. The longevity of it will not be there, so you do want to seal it. So I am just using the decoupage varnish and glue, the matte one, which is the one I usually use, and just putting some rice paper on here so that way we can do the crackles. So I'm not trying to be, you know, fancy or anything like that, because what we want to see is the crackle. Okay. All right. I walk away, you're working on a beautiful plate. I come back, I don't have a clue what you're working on. And then I'm doing it like this, so it looks like a big mess. We are doing some of our 101. So we are going through the crackles. So we've already done the black paste, and we've done the cracking medium. And so now we're going to go through and look at the fine line, the classic, and the random. And I will finish blending out the tray, blending the colors. And then I'll come back with you guys, and we will put in all of the embellishments, do the outside of the tray, and then put the epoxy resin down on it. So I pulled out the tray and wanted to ask what we wanted to look at as far as the first part of the 101, because I know that, you know, there was a lot of things on there So I just didn't know where we wanted to start, and everybody said crackle, so pulled out all the crackles. So I just took right now just some of my scrap rice paper so we can put the crackles on here. Hey, Rima. Hi, Terry. Do you sell the sander you are using and the smoother things? I do. Well, I have the links. I don't think they're in the description. They might be. They might be in the description already. If not, I will get them to you. But yes, I do. I have the links for you. Hi, Rima. How's it going? I told everybody I'll be on your channel tomorrow. But it sure is interesting to watch it. Aw, thanks, Miss Edie. Okay, so we have three bases here that we are going to do. So again, we need a step one, okay? The step one is interchangeable for all of these. All of them, all right? So I have a big one of the fine line crackle that I'm almost done with. So I'm going to finish it off with these. So if that confuses you, please ask me, because we miss you too. Because I don't want you to be confused about anything, all right? So dry brush, clean dry brush. This is step one. And we're going to put this down. Again, the product that you put down is what your cracks are going to be. So the more product you put down, the bigger your cracks. Oof. Fly flying in my face. Hope you're having a good time, Rima. Rima, what time is it for you right now? Okay, so I don't need to change, because even though we're doing 3 different crackles, I don't need to change my step one. It's interchangeable, okay? Midnight. Holy cow, midnight. So it's 2 o'clock for me. Wow, Rima. Okay. There's another one. And the last one. Oh, I'm so glad you're having a great time. Can't wait to have you back, but I'm glad you're having a good time. I've had people ask me, like, if I go different ways when I paint, will it, will my cracks go different ways? I mean, yeah, you can do whatever, the cracks are going to happen just depending upon the product. I mean, I've never noticed that if I go left to right, up to down, and all around, if it, will make my cracks look like that. I mean, the cracks just happen. Wish I could be there. I'm sure I still distant family there. Oh, how neat. It's 5 p.m. for you. Okay, so you are Eastern time zone. All right, so again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it is better if you can let these stages dry naturally. Obviously, we can't do that because we're in a live, so we got to dry these. 10 p.m. in Scotland, 7 a.m. in Australia. Oh my goodness, Jessie. Hi, Andrew. Andrew, we need you to post pictures of your stuff, please. We want to see it. Okay, so again, if you're going to accelerate the drying process, that's fine. But do not, you got to keep that heat gun moving. Do not concentrate it in one area. You're going to burn the product, okay? If you're bubbling up the product, all of these things are going to make it so that your crackles don't work. Amazing, we can all be here watching. I know, I love that. That's so cool to me. Hi, Betty. Hi, Nicole. All right, so we'll get all of these dried, and then we can compare what the random, the fine line, and the classic, what they all look like, what to use in them. So as we're drawing, I'm going to stand up and get my favorite Umbra. Maybe we'll get a white out, gold. I mean, we could even get waxes if we wanted to. Sorry, ended up falling asleep. No worries. We are just starting our 101s. So we have already gone through 2 crackles. So we've already done the crackle paste system and the 1 component. So now we are going to look at the random, the classic, and the fine line. So we have our first step down already that we're drawing. And again, once it's clear, hi, Susan. So once it goes transparent, then you know you're ready to go. I'm dropping things. That's why I keep disappearing from the screen. Then you know you're ready to go with your step 2. So is everybody clear on why I use the same step for the same step 1 for all of them? Even though it says fine line, you guys realize it's all the same, right? Step 1 is interchangeable. No question is a dumb question. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if I'm going too fast, stop me. I want to make sure that you guys can do some crackle after this, okay? I want you guys to be able to pick up any of the crackle lines and know it's going to work for you. And not have that stress of, I don't know if it's going to work today, but I guess I'll try it. No. It's like, I'm going to do crackle on my project today, and it's going to work. Basically, step 1 can be used for any of the step 2 crackles. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, if if you had step 2 and you ran out of your step 1 that says fine line or classic, it doesn't matter. You can grab another step 1. It's the step 2 that matters, right? That's the what's going to make it fine line or classic or random. All right, so these are almost dry. There is only one that is 1 step. All the others are 2 steps. That is correct. So, and it even says on there 1 component, right? So this is the only one that is a 1 step. The one that says, I do crackle the cheap way with PVA glue and acrylic paint. Yeah, I see a lot of people doing that. And that is pretty much what this is. So the way Sue is talking about is, you know, when you see people do it with like Elmer's glue and whatnot, that's basically what they're doing, is what the effect that this makes. All right, so this one is very dry. These other ones just have these little spaces. Something that I like to do is I won't go with my step 2 right now. I kind of wait a minute until it cools off, because I have noticed that it will affect it a little bit if I go right in after I trying to fix that exposure a little bit. If I go right in, okay? So while we are waiting for that, just in case, let's turn this around. All right, just so I don't get confused. Okay, so we're gonna take, this is the baby one. So the random only comes in the 50 mil. The classic comes in the 100. I don't think we have this one in the 250 yet. But the fine line comes in the, or 230, excuse me. The fine line comes in the 230. So the fine line comes in the 100 and the 230. But yeah, so I'm actually going to put these step 1s aside because I don't need them. And we're going to work with these step 2s. All right, so the random I don't use very often, but it's still a very cool effect. Okay. See, I tried that, but struggled to get it to work. Oh. Okay, so again, clean, dry brush. And we're going to go in. My project is cooled. And I'm going to go and I'm going to take product. I'm going to brush it on. You will also notice that the step 2s are quite a bit thinner than the first step. So if you're doing like a vase or anything rounded, actually, you know, or if you're doing even drawers that are sitting up, you're, you know, like the sides, you're going to kind of have to tend to that that second step because it's going to want to drip. Okay, so just, you know, just kind of watch it, because you don't want it, you know, want that drip to dry that way. All right, so that's the step 2 for the random. I'm going to take another clean, dry brush, and this is the classic. Again. So we're not going to get the effect that we would when we look at the step 1 and 2, as far as being able to see the cracks happening so dramatically because it's on, you know, the rice paper. But I can zoom you in, I think, close enough that you'll be able to see it for the most part. Again, the amount of the product you put down will be the cracks that you see as far as big or small. Okay, are you putting your brush in water when done? I am. I have a, where's your son? He's here. Hi, Callie. He's here. He's just quiet today. I have a jar with a little bit of Dawn dish soap, and I just throw them in there. Okay. All right, so now we've got the fine line. which this is a new one, so I know I have the top on. Because did you see how, and I don't know why I just don't open my big jar, but that's all right. That's how much how much of the fine line I use. Okay, so another clean, dry brush, and we're going to go in with the fine line. Thank you, Callie. How are you doing, Callie? What's the weather like in New Orleans? All right. And got a lot of brush washing today. Troy, you're being too quiet. We can't hear you. You're not talking to him today. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these dried. So I will go ahead and bring you down. I don't know how much of it you're going to see. So that was the first one that we were doing. Oh, I got to get this straight. And I can already see the cracks happening. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it because of the way the light. Yeah, I don't think you guys are. You'll see it when we put the product on. So hot. Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness. Colleen, don't. He probably is shopping. He always shows me the Amazon app on his phone. Oh, Lord. This one, let's see if you guys can see this, because this is already cracking like crazy. This is the, oops, sorry, wrong way. So this, where are you? So this is up right there. Can you see all of that? This is the classic. Can you see all of these cracks right here? And then if you look at all, it's cracking all. As the light hits it, you could see, there you go. Can you see all of those cracks? So, all right. So the classic crackle, if you look on the jar, it has, where am I? Right there. Is it going to focus or no? If you see here, the classic crackle does this small cracks. A lot of cracks. The fine line does the bigger random cracks. But bigger in spacing wise. The random crackle, sometimes it cracks and sometimes it doesn't, even though there's product in that area. And that's why it's called random. Like you might get a bunch of cracks and then you might get maybe just a few. So it all, I've never crackled yet. Oh my goodness, you've got to try it. So yeah, it just all depends on like what you're looking for. The fine line is so popular, I think, you know, obviously because they like the big sporadic cracks. And it's funny because had I not put the random on there, I would have thought the random was the classic because of how much cracking it actually did this time. Hi, Linda. I just ordered some fine line. I have to get the classic too. So we're just wanting to make sure that we keep all of this moving around. You know, your weather is going to affect it as well. So if you are, you know, if it's the winter time and you're letting it dry naturally, obviously it's going to take longer. I know some put it like on the heaters or the radiators, you know, to get it to crack when it's winter time and they're leaving it. So and I do find that the fine line of all of them takes the longest. With this crackle, could I pour art resin over it or not? You could. Yep, you could. I was just trying to think. Yeah. I don't know if I have a project, but I know I've done it. I don't know if I have pictures. I'll have to look on my Instagram, but I know I've done it. Like on a tray, I know that I've done it. I just don't know what pictures I have. I can't think of so that I could tell you where to go look. But yeah, you can. So these two are dry. This one's taken a minute. So while we wait for the fine line to crack, let's play with these. Okay, so this is the random. So what we can use some wax paste. We can use some antique paste on these two. So let's get a clean rag here. And let's get a stipple brush. Ooh, a lot of brush washing today. See, why not? It's just like putting varnish on it. Yep. I was just trying to think of a project that I've done recently that I could tell her, like, oh, go look at this. But I can't even think of one that I've done it on. Wouldn't you lose your cracks if you poured resin? No. No, you're thinking it's going to fill it in, but you will still see the crackled effect. You will still see it. Okay, so let's grab Umbra. You will see is my absolute favorite. Look at, I already have to open a new jar. It's almost all gone. This is already my second one. So I'm going to dip into here. And this is the random. And we're just going to swirl all over so I don't have to keep holding it up. Let me just bring you back down. All right. We're going to take this and we're going to see where the cracks happened. And I'm telling you, like I said, had I not put the random down, I would have thought that this was the classic. So now we wipe it back so that you can see the cracks. So this is the random. Now, you see how here this entire area, it didn't crack? That's not me. That wouldn't be you. That's how this crackle works. Here, there's hardly any cracks. Here, there's hardly any cracks. Here, it's broken. Here, they're bigger. So this one is very much like the name, random. I think maybe that this one is why, you know, maybe someone wouldn't grab it as much because you're not sure where it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. if you guys remember, I did an egg for Easter. I can see it. It hardly had any cracks on it, and I had crackle all over it, but there wasn't very much on there. So, and again, that was just how it worked. Okay, so this one is the classic. So now let's change it. Let's use, I don't know. Let's use the honey gold wax. I like that one in my goodie box. Excited to use it now. Okay, so now this is the classic. So let's bring you back down again. And again, we're just going to swirl around the wax. And then I'm going to get my rag and I'm going to wipe this back. And now, you know, I don't know if you know, but if you wanted, like, once you wipe this away and you wanted to put more wax on there again and wipe it away, you can continue to do that. So now, here is the classic. That's probably a better view of the cracks right there. Okay? And as you can tell, like, the classic and the random are fairly close. It's just, again, with the random, you're not going to be guaranteed that it's going to crack everywhere like the classic did. Okay? So, again, if I go like that, you can see it catch that light. Okay, so that's those two. We might have to tend to the... Yeah, we need to dry this just a little more. I see the cracks happening, but let's just dry this a little more. Like I said, I love the crackles. I think they just, I don't know, they just finish a project to me. I just love it. Eh? All right, so now I'm going to, you like it too? I'm going to take this one so that I can concentrate it and see if I can get a couple more cracks in this one area here. Oh, you're very welcome, Ari. So if you guys recognize with the these two, the cracks are very small. With the fine line, they're larger as far as, you know, how tiny and together these are. The fine line is not like that. Again, I think that's why maybe it gets used a little more. So now the fine line is also the one that is solvent. You have to use solvent-based products with it. And I'm actually going to show you what happens if you don't. Because a lot of people make this mistake, and it's, you know, you can't even use a baby wipe to wipe. You know how I was wiping back the excess? Like, you can't even use a baby wipe for that with the fine line. All right. So I'm going to let this cool off a little bit because it's very hot. I don't know if I can get that light to hit right so you could see. There are cracks there, but they're not nearly as close and as small as these two. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, we do make that mistake with the water and the fine line, and it'll ruin your project like immediately. Yeah. Okay, so let's get another brush. Actually, put them out here ready. Let's take the gold. Okay, so now this is an antique paste, okay? This is not water-based. I did not know that about the fine line crackle. Good to know. Thank you. You're very welcome. Hi, Betty. So, I am going to take the antique paste in gold, and we're going to swirl this around in here. I might have to do the umbra. We'll see if you guys can see the gold. You might not be able to see the gold. Yeah, let me do the umbra because you're not gonna see it. Thank you. Crackling is something I think I can watch every day and never tire of it. I think it always is a great idea to watch as many people as it is possible. It's the most interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Betty. So which of the waxes and pastes are okay to use? Any besides the antique paste? You just remember that you can't use anything that is water-based with the fine line. So the antique paste you can use. I've used, are these? I think these are fine. I've used the waxes before. There's nothing on here. But the big mistake is, hi, Helena. This antiquing gel you cannot use. This antiquing gel is water-based. Okay, you can't use this. This one is a patina liquid. This is solvent-based. You can use this as well on here. It has that same odor as like the solvent varnishes though. So if you are sensitive to smells, you probably aren't gonna like this one too much. Okay, so let's put the umbra down in here so you guys can see the fine line, because that gold, I can see it, but I don't think you guys can see it. No way. I can't get that. So if you can see, these cracks are much bigger. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get the light to hit it properly so you could see. There we go. So if you can tell, like if we were to hold up the fine line, or let's do the random, can you see how big these cracks are as compared to the fine line? So that's why I think the fine line is, I like it because it overpowers a bit, doesn't it? So you would really need to see, what you're using on your project, because like as pretty as this is, it really overpowered that rice paper. But so now you still have the cracks, and you can still put in, you know, and get that effect, but yet your paper underneath, you can still see. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? So I won't wipe it back just so you can see. Did you do another name? Oh no, Betty, I told them that what you said, and they all said that you're very sweet. We are going to do 2 on Friday. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Helena. Thank you, Lynn, for the stars. You guys don't ever have to do that, but I really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much. So we have now done, that's gold. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Okay, so any questions on the fine line, random, or classic? Oh, thank you, Miss Edie. Okay, so if you don't have any questions or you think of any questions, just let me know, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Now let's have a little fun. What time is it? Are we okay on time? Okay, now let's have a little fun. Let's do some of this. Remember this? So this one is the transparent crackling gel, right? Sue, I don't want to be greedy. It should be fair. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh, Gwen. Thank you so much for the stars. You guys are so sweet. So the transparent is amazing because you can mix that beautiful pigment in there. So let's have some fun and let's mix the fire gold pigment, okay? So I don't know, let's just do a base color, a light base color. No, I don't have a stars party, not yet, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. So let's just do a base color. We'll just do a base white. This is just the, no, it says activate. It doesn't say stars party. It says activate a party. I think you have to have so many or something like that. I don't know. So this is just the Decor Paint Chalky, and this is the cream white, one of my favorite colors. It's not a color, but I love it. Cream white. It goes, it's the perfect base. Not too white, not too beige. It's just perfect. So we will do this, and then, so, okay. The transparent crackling gel. Why is this one so cool? Well, you can mix it to be any color you want, okay? What the heck am I going to do with that? Do you need 150 more to achieve it? I don't know. It just shows me like a bar, and it shows like a, it just shows like, yeah. So I don't know how much is needed. I've never had one, so I don't know. Okay, so, okay, we're going to do that. I'm excited. I love this. I love the transparent crackling system. Just love it. Oh, by the way, at 4 o'clock today, Robin's song and, oh, really, Betty? I didn't know. Robin's song and Teresa are doing a live. Thank you, Helena. And I'll be hosting them, so it'll be on Teresa Renee Art's Facebook and Robin's Song Facebook. Okay, so we're going to use the cracking paint gel, the transparent, the first step. Now, the thing, dang, that was a big brush, Terry. The thing about this is that if you're going to mix if you're going to mix a pigment in with this system, you mix it into number 2, not number 1. Okay, it has to go into the number 2. Okay, so again, you could have put down rice paper or whatever, because it's gonna. But I want to get to the color. It's beautiful. All right, so clean, dry brush. my brush thing is got all kinds of brushes coming out. Okay, and then we'll put this to the side, and we're going to get. Let's get this open. I don't think I've actually played with this yet. It's not like, look at that color. You see that? We'll get my little spoon. Put some pigment in there. And then we'll get the number 2. Now remember, you cannot mix this pigment in number 1. You have to do it in the second part. So, oh, actually, just use my spoon. Now this is going to dry transparent. So obviously, just because it's white, you know, don't let that. It's not going to matter, because once it dries, that's exactly what I didn't want to do, because now I'm going to have pigment all over my face like I did yesterday. Because once it dries, all you're going to get is this amazing color. Let's use a smaller. Of course. I told you, whatever you guys want to see in these 101s, just let me know. And that's what we'll do. So that way you guys can have maybe some questions asked that you know, have stopped you from using the product, you know, but you wanted to try it, or you want to see how it works before you buy it. I'm more than happy to show you. So I'm just mixing that in. I'm going to probably you need to make sure you mix it really, really well. Probably need a little bit more of the number 2. But look at my color is, I messed with the settings, trying to figure out what was happening with that other camera, and now it's just all combobulated. So this is the metal pigment, the Fire Gold. And I'm worried that we probably won't have enough to go over that entire piece. So let's do that. Actually, wrong way. Okay, you leaving now?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? Okay, thank you. Whoa, I'm gonna fall. Bye. Okay. And then let's put in a little more pigment, and then we'll, because that it's warm here today, so it's drying pretty well already, but we'll speed it up, and then we'll put the transparent on there. I got a little baby spoon. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I go through a ton of baby wipes. You can do half one color and the other half a different color later. Oh yeah, I could do that. Might have been nice if I picked my head up and read your comment sooner. Oh, I'm telling you, Linda, this pigment is beautiful. Right when Teresa brought it in, it sold out so quick. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah. All right, so now let's get some of this up so that it doesn't get all over me. And then move that over. I do want to scrape because I see some white. All right, let's dry this really quickly. I think it's fairly dry. But yeah, so that's, I mean, and then if you wanted to use, if you needed a transparent crafting paste for your project, of course you don't always have to mix in a pigment. But how fun is it that you can mix in any color? And I have a ton of colors over here. Neons. I have the neon green, pink, orange. I mean, how fun is it to make a crackle whatever color you want? You can get 900 wipes from Costco. I have like that subscribe and save. And I have a monthly order that comes with wipes from Amazon because I have to use, Troy still wears. I don't think it's right to cook. I don't know. Briefs? I don't know. I don't like. Yes, neons. So we have like a glow in the dark, but this is like a neon green. I have a pink, an orange. Oh yeah, neons. Neons. Okay, so now, oh, I wanted to show you guys something, okay? So my hands are wet, okay? They're wet because I just wiped them with, hello, thank you for joining. I just have baby wipe on them, okay? You see? This is the fine line crackle, right? Look, if I put, it doesn't like water. It does not like water at all. And if I were to put this like this, it would pool. Look it. It's sticking to the baby wipe and pooling the baby wipe. And now that whole area is going to continue to be sticky. So that's why we don't use water with fine line. Okay. All right. So back to this beauty. All right. So we have the step one, the cracking, and now we mixed in our fire gold. So now let's get some of that onto our circle here. Good to know. Yeah. It does not like, it doesn't even like it a little bit. So now let's get this. Look at that color. Oh my gosh. And of course, we can make it brighter if we were to put more pigment in there. But if you guys remember, this is what I changed it to the color gold, and I put it through that stencil on the jewelry box. This is how I did it. Okay. Another brush in the water. Now let's, oh man, I don't like what it's doing to you guys as far as the color goes. I don't know what you guys see. What do you, it's supposed to be like a hot fire maroon. Is it coming off orange to you guys, or is it that my camera? Any hoot. All right, so now let's dry this. I'm going to bring you down. Okay. And the same, like always, we want to keep that heat. We want to move it. We don't want to keep it in one area. Yeah, see, I don't know what it's reflecting off of something. The blue matte, I think, and it's changing the color. So you're keeping the heat moving. You don't want it left in one spot. So basically what we did is we created our own color, right? Because remember at the beginning we did this black and we created these cracks. Well, now we made our own color and crack and did a crackle. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So basically we have done today, we have the cracking paste, which was this one, right? We have our only one step, which was a sandwich between two colors, two acrylics, which was this, the crackle medium, and then the transparent, which was this. So if we look and compare these cracks, it looks like the crackle medium. They are all fairly similar, right? The crackles, but again, it's just depending on, do you want to do it, a one step? Do you need it to be black already? Because then it saves you from mixing any pigments, or do you want your own color? So that's that. And then we also did today the fine line, which are larger cracks. You need to charge it again, son. Larger cracks. The classic, which has the smaller, more concentrated cracks, right? And then we have the random, which is also smaller and concentrated, but not always sure you're going to get cracks all over the all over that surface area that you put it on. And like I said, if you guys go back and look at that egg, only I think the top part of the egg cracked, and the bottom, but the sides were like hardly anything. So now the only one that we didn't do today, which I can always show you when we come back, is just the cracking paint systems. But this is basically the same thing as what we did with these. This one, you would put down the first one, and then you would put down the second, and then it just cracks with these colors. So, but it's the same concept. It's just that the cracking paint system comes in different colors. So, but same process. So that is our first 101 that we have. So we did crackle. I'm curious why someone would want to use random. Random is more natural. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you don't want cracks, and it's just like, I really don't know. I don't grab for random very often. I usually grab for random when I'm doing like a tutorial or something. I personally always grab for fine line. But again, I have used the classic, but I knew that I wanted cracks in that entire area. Like I said, it is a little bit, when you're doing the classic, you have to be prepared for that whole area to be covered in cracks. And then when you go through with like the umbra or, gold or white, it might take over your image. So you kind of have to be, be careful on that. So it would all depend on what you're looking for and the type of project that you're using. So, but I'm hoping what we accomplished today, if anything, is that those of you who maybe wanted to use Crackle and just weren't sure about it, will try it. And if you go to try it in, today, the next couple of days, whenever, and if you've had problems again, come back. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out why you've hit some problems, because I'm guaranteeing that it's something that is fixable. It's not just because it won't work for you. It will work for you. We just need to figure out what it is. Like I said, it took months for Olga to figure it out, but once she did everything step by step, then it cracked, and now she loves it. Learn something new every day. I love that's amazing. That makes me so happy. Oh, you guys are so very welcome. I love doing it. So, I don't know. We need to meet back here tomorrow I'll be on Rima's channel. So I'll be on Rima's channel at regular time, 1 o'clock tomorrow. But then when I come back on Wednesday, we need to figure out what you guys want to see. I don't know. There's the moss effects. There's expand paste. There's iron paste. There's the pouring glaze. There's chalkboard paint. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. So just let me know what you guys want to see, and then I will keep blending out the tray, and then we'll finish that up as well. So thanks for helping Rima see tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. So I will see, hopefully, some of you guys tomorrow. And if not, I will see you guys for sure on Wednesday. And then also, if you want to stop in on Robin and Teresa tonight in 1 hour, they'll be live as well. Expand paste and pouring glaze. Yeah, do you guys even play? Have you guys even played with the expand paste? Do you know that there's expand paste? So we can talk about that for sure. Alrighty. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.